Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Beard of Blevins, father of 4, and my goodness, do I have the greatest parenting hacks of all time.
Wow, I am Katie, MrsRuvi. I am a mother of 5, and I would say that I've got a couple of them.
But you've got more kids than me by one.
By one, yeah. And I've gone through way weirder periods.
Yeah.
Like one of mine drives now. It's so wild.
I'm not ready for that.
It's amazing, actually.
Jody and I did have a moment recently where she got very sad because she was like, actually our son, Caleb's the one who realized that. He's like, I'll be out of the house when new baby is 8. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, first of all, like, we'll see, buddy, hopefully.
Right.
Just kidding. Love you, dude. But that was like a whole sad thing. We haven't experienced any of that stuff yet.
Yeah. Maggie, my oldest, will technically be graduated from high school the year that my daughter goes to kindergarten, my littlest daughter. So she'll be, if she goes to college, a freshman in college. We don't force college in my family. We don't think that it's a requirement. So.
Same. This is wild. I mean, it's crazy to think that like my 9-year-old can barely use silverware and could be driving in 6 years.
Yeah, it's really wild. But
life comes really fast.
If you do a really good job with your parenting, like I tweeted this week, and I just love this about my teenager because people always tell you, just wait, they're going to be teenagers. So just wait to see how bad it is. I freaking love the teenagers.
Oh yeah, I was a youth minister for 15 years. I am ready.
Yeah. So my daughter, she gets off of work and she calls me every time she's off work. She's Mom, I'm on my way home. Do you need anything? Do you need me to stop at the store? You want me to get anything? Every single time. Like she is so much more considerate than I am. I am so proud of her.
I'm very good at self-control. Like I don't buy chips at the grocery store. They're never in the house because I would just eat all of them.
Sure.
I need to make sure I'm even better at it when my son asks if I need anything on the way home. Yeah, son, swing by the gas station, give me a whole thing of Pringles.
That's going to be great. Hey.
Well, we are going to talk today about 5 parenting hacks for traveling with your children on a plane.
Yeah.
Under the age of 10.
Yeah.
10 and under.
Air travel for the little kids where it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it is really hard. It takes a lot of prep. I will take 0 credit for anything I'm going to share today because this is all my wife. She is the one who is awesome at all this stuff. We have been my parents lived in Arizona when my kids were super young. We have traveled with babies as old as 3 months old. And have traveled every single year with each kid that we have, including all of them when we've had all of them at every single stage. Mm-hmm. Aged 3 months to my oldest is 9, and we just went to Arizona and back, including with the baby that was very colicky, and Jody needed to stand and rock almost the entire time in the middle of the night to get him back to sleep. So we've seen it, experienced it, and it is easier than you think if you put the work in.
Yeah.
Ready?
All right. You got 5 hacks.
All right. Number 1. I'm not going to mention any specific airlines, but back row seating. Mm-hmm. The one downfall is that oftentimes on airplanes, the very last row does have a tiny bit less leg room and you can't really lean all the way back. However, if it is not a full flight, there is about a 98% chance that you are going to have an open seat next to you, which is critical and crucial if you are traveling with little kids. You're not bothering as many people. You're not walking over people. You're not trying to decide where, if you've got 1 extra seat or 2 extra seats, where the kids or you are going to sit. And so it is an awesome hack. And if you're kind to the flight attendants, especially on a flight where you're not picking your seats ahead of time, if you know what I mean, wink, wink, the flight attendant will oftentimes stand and block people from being able to even sit because they know how valuable it is for you to be able to sit with the kids. Again, a lot of parents might not know this. You get to do family boarding on most flights after the first group boards. Mm-hmm. And so that back seat is almost always open and available.
Closest to the bathroom and also closest to the snacks if you need to like get a refill of some kind.
100%. And if you do need to stand and rock a baby in the middle of the flight, it is very easy to kind of maneuver. It's easier to maneuver there than anywhere else on the plane as you are rocking a crying baby to sleep.
Great advice.
Number 2, pre-pack lots of snacks. Extra credit to Jody here. You just gave me a dirty look. That's funny because I know exactly what you're going to say.
One time I packed myself some carrots and hummus and I took a picture in an airport and John was like, why are you eating carrots and hummus in an airport? And I was like, I pack my snacks.
Yeah, which is weird for adults, but very cool for kids. Okay. But seriously, pre-packing snacks, like as you all know, if you're a parent, you understand that when your kid is eating, they're generally happy, especially if they're eating something that they like and having a large variety of it. You might make the mistake of thinking of yourself before you ever travel with your kids. I'm fine with whatever I can buy on the plane or the little pretzels that they give you. Most kids are not, and they're happy just eating. You know, the whole like chewing gum trick where like it doesn't helps your ears or something. That never worked for me, but the act of chewing, it holds up when you're having snacks as well. And the more the better. Like you can, Jody will buy like 8 different types of snacks and then individually package them into like 40.
Yeah.
So that anytime the kids are like, I'm hungry, boom, here's another one, and they're not complaining as they just eat their food on the plane.
Yeah, it's the swallowing that actually makes it better. You can't swallow the gum. And if you're chewing and swallowing, that helps with your ears a lot more than just gum. And there's
so it's even better.
There's some really cool things you can find online for snacks if you want to do a snackle box. If you are really feeling extra, like you get yourself a little, it's actually for embroidery floss. Like you can buy them at Hobby Lobby. They have little holes, like different thing, and put different snacks in it. And like get the snacks your kids never get.
Yep.
Like something interesting and fun that they're like, oh my gosh, do we really have the tiny Oreos?
100%. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
My kids are so used to like regular Cheerios or even Honey Nut Cheerios, which are delicious. But if you've got tricks, I mean, they're going to go absolutely crazy on the flight. Real quick, to part 2 of number 2 here is bring water bottles for your kids. A lot of times people are like, can you, like, we don't know the rules. Can we bring water bottles? You can't bring full water bottles. They'll make you dump it. But every airport I've ever been to, and I travel a ton, has these awesome water fountains where you just put the water bottle in, and then your kids, you don't have to wait for the flight attendant. You don't have to worry about them spilling because it's their normal water bottle.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that. Okay, number 3. I wrote intensive screen time. That is not what I meant. What I meant was on purpose. What's the word I'm looking for there? Intentional screen time. So here's the thing. There's certain times and places on the plane you're allowed to have electronics out, etc. But incentivize. That's what I was going to go for. Incentivize screen time. Am I that boring?
No, I'm sorry. I've just had a yawn that I've been holding.
Unbelievable. No, incentivize screen time. So what I'll do, like, it is hard for a kid to behave on a plane. Like, it's new. They don't necessarily do it often, although I feel like mine do. But if you incentivize the screen time and you say, listen, if you are on your best behavior in the airport, if you're on your best behavior on the plane as we're waiting to take off, by the time we're ready to watch a show or a movie, you get to do that. And it helps them behave a little bit better, gives them something to look forward to. You need to make sure you bring headphones for each kid. Sometimes a flight will be able to hand out headphones. Sometimes they don't. And here's another little hack with screen time is that you can use one computer, put it in the middle seat, a laptop. You can buy a headphone jack splitter, and you can plug all 3 headphones into the exact same computer so they can all watch a movie together. So you don't have to buy 3 iPads. If you're on a flight that doesn't have the screen in front of you, which there are some that don't, there you go. But then if there are, they can plug their individual headphones into that as well.
Yeah. I would do this as a scheduling situation is how I would say it. Think like first grade teacher. Kids can get through a long period of time better if they know what's coming next. So if you've got like, first we're going to have the plane take off, and next, like when you were in kindergarten, they were like, first we're going to do the pledge, and then we're going to have music, and then we have math. And like, if you know what's coming, it's easier to get through the day. So the plane's going to take off, and then we're going to pass out our snacks, and then we're going to start the movie, and then it's book time, and then blah, blah, blah. Like if bonus points if you can print it with pictures.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Number 4. This is, again, my wife being just an unbelievably amazing planner, and it works for our kids. Find something that your kids love. It will only work for that. But Jody will pack, and it doesn't take like a ton. Like we're carrying on two bags. Like she has a bag, I have a bag. We check the rest. Mm-hmm. And you can pack color by numbers, like brand new coloring books or color by numbers, depending on the age of your kids, or brand new library books that they haven't had a chance to read yet. And that is what you can do as you're waiting to get on the plane. Yeah. A lot of times you're there an hour or 2 earlier than you really need to be, and you have time to kill. Instead of letting them have 8 hours of screen time by the time they get to the airport, sit on the plane, and on the way to wherever you're going, you can give them really fun, creative things to do that don't take a lot of energy. My kids, it's kind of gross because I'm like a clean freak, but like my kids were sprawled out on the airport floor by the gate, just coloring away and reading their library books for an hour and a half as we waited to get on the plane, and they did not bug anyone.
Nice. That's how they build immunity, John.
Ugh, disgusting. And number 5 is give everyone a job. And this is something that you do, and so I will let you talk about it.
Yeah. So again, always think like a first grade teacher when you have your kids in a scenario that they have to get through a long period of time. And so the way that you were in first grade and you had a line leader and a flag holder and all of those things, everybody gets a job. So just good examples, a bathroom monitor, somebody whose job it is to say, it's been 45 minutes. Does anyone need to go potty? You're going to give that one to your oldest kid who can tell time, or you can set a timer on your phone phone, but they're going to be the person who's like, hey, it's time to go to the bathroom on the plane. Like, and that gets everybody a chance to get up and get their legs moving and that kind of thing. You have a drink order taker so that when the lady comes around with the cart, somebody has already taken everybody's drink order and they can say, she's going to have this, he's going to have this. That is you do the whole thing. That person feels very, very powerful, very powerful. And then last, the color keeper, the person who's holding on to the coloring books, the color by numbers, the person who can pass out the entertainment devices. And you're probably going to want that to be your most judicious child, like the one who's least likely to say, I don't like you anymore. You can't have a coloring book, because that's just going to start fights. So
I know that this is not super helpful, but I just want to encourage all the parents out there, travel with your kids. If you can afford it, if you can do it, it's a good thing to do. Don't worry about everyone else on the plane. Heck them. I mean, you're never going to see them again. It doesn't matter. Like, kids cry. It happens. Try your absolute best to just like take a deep breath, love your kid. Don't be mean to them because you care about what other people think. Who gives a rip about them? It's 2025. If you don't have noise canceling headphones and you're traveling, it's your fault.
Oh, that's so true. They had that coming.
They did.
This was great advice. And we have other podcasts with great advice. Where could you find them?
Go to isthisforkids.com. Everywhere that we are is there. And go to Instagram and let us know some other hacks that you would like us to give you.
Absolutely. Hey, there are just so many things for us to have to learn as parents.
I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. Let us help you figure out.
Is this for kids?